Hey guys, what's going on? It's King Clutch here, and today, guys, we're back in the NBA 2K20. I hope you guys are all having a great day and everything's going well for you guys. Everything's going good. I'm back at you guys with another video. Today, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a two-way pass first point here in 2K20. Now, I feel like this is a build that resembles somewhat like of what Rajon Rondo was. I feel like the player description it has for this build, I really don't know if they're accurate, to be 100% honest, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do this. Now, you can actually do this build at a point guard or a shooting guard. You build it similarly. You tweak a little bit of the attributes. I'm going to do a point guard just for attribute categories and bad reasons. I would suggest making this build a point guard if I were you guys. But guys, what we're going to do is for our skill breakdown, you're going to want to pick the shooting and the defending pie chart. This way we'll be able to shoot the ball, we'll be able to defend. This is honestly one of my favorite pie charts in the game next to the defending and the playmaking pie chart. Me personally, I love two-way builds. They are my favorite build here in 2K20. I've always loved playing with them. But this can get you a very good, it can get you a two-way build, an extremely good two-way build, and you can do pretty much everything with this build. If you build it correctly, there's not a thing on the floor that you're really not able to do. Overall, this is a very, very well-rounded build, so you're going to want to go with the skill breakdown of shooting and defending for that. For the physical profile, I feel like there's two you can pick from. Either the pure speed pie chart, or you could go with the vertical in the agility pie chart, which is the fourth one down here. Again, this is personal preference. There is a difference of a total of 4 speed between the two of these. And there is a difference of 13 vertical. Personal opinion, I feel like the 13 vertical is worth it, so I'm going to go with the agility and the vertical pie chart for my physical profile, but the pure speed pie chart is also a very good option. So guys, going along with this potential, now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You need to be very, very specific with these to get a two-way pass first point. I'm going to actually touch this standing dunk a little bit up to a 33, and then I'm also going to touch my post hook. I want to see if we can, the quickest way to get 8 badges with this. I'd love to get 8 with this, so that's what we're going to try to do here. As this is what I did for the finishing categories. I left close shot at an 84, driving layup, and driving dunk. I max those out, and then I put my standing dunk up to a 39. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to max out my shooting stats. I want to max out my shooting. I want to max out my mid-range of my three-point, and I'm going to take my free throw down to an 86, and then my post fade I'm going to leave at a 55. Now guys, what I'm going to do is also I'm going to max out my pass accuracy and my ball handling moves. I'm going to put my post moves here up to a 41 to give me that 12th playmaking badge. And then for these defensive categories, I'm going to max out my perimeter D, my lateral quickness, my steal, and then my defensive rebound. This will give me 8 finishing badges, 15 shooting badges, 12 playmaking badges, and 19 defensive badges. Now what you could do, you could take these post moves off if you didn't want to touch your post moves. And you could throw these extra 12 points in the shooting category, max out your free throw, and then that should leave you, I think, it'll leave you with 16. So it's really all personal preference where you'd like those badges at. I personally would want them on my playmaking category just to get those. I feel like those extra 2 playmaking badges are more beneficial just for things if I want to be able to dribble the ball and get better badges that way. But that again is personal preference. If you'd rather have the possibility of having another silver badge or something for your shooting, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm going to go with the 12 playmaking badge. Guys, this is what we finished with for these statistics here. We got 8 finishing, 15 shooting, 12 playmaking, and 19 defensive. I feel like that's a very, very well-rounded badge count. You're able to do a lot with this build. You can dribble, you can shoot, you can drive, and you can also play defense, which overall in the badge count-wise, you're very, very balanced. So that's what we're going to go with that. Now for the body shape, again, this doesn't matter. Whatever you'd like. I'm just going to go with solid, but again, you can pick whatever you'd like. Now for the height, guys, I know this, if I was making this like a legit Rajon Rondo build, he'd be a little bit smaller. I want to make this build 6'5", just for the two-way pass first point type mentality. You're going to want to be a little bit bigger if you're going to be able to play defense. If you're any smaller than that, you would not be able to play defense very well at all. So guys, this is what we're going to rock with for the height for this build. We're going to do 6'5". Now for the weight, again, this is more preference, I would say. You could really do whatever you'd like with the weight, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump this up a little bit higher. I'm not going to bump it up extremely high. I'm going to leave it like right at 196. That way we're getting a little bit of our strength boost. If we go down any further, we don't get anything, but if we leave it at 196, we get a boost to our strength and don't lose any speed or excel or vertical or anything. So we're just going to leave it right there at 196 pounds. Now, for the wingspan, to get a two-way fast first point, I'm pretty sure it has to be up. It's either the medium spot, the middle spot, or it's 82.6 and above. Now, what you could do, this isn't going to give you a two-way shot or a two-way sharpshooter if you go down further, if you go make it smaller. But if you make it a little bit bigger, you get that two-way pass first point. And honestly, that's what I'm more concerned about with this. You should be able to shoot fine even with a 76 3 and a 77 mid-range. With having Hall of Fame shooting badges, that should help. But I'm not going to max this just for the reason I just don't want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this wingspan at an 82.6 because we don't lose as much in our strength. We also don't take a hit in our ball handle or anything like that, so I'm going to leave it at 82.6. We lose 1 in our shooting categories, and we get a +1 to our steal and our block. Now for the takeover, guys, I feel like this is really up to you. You could easily take a playmaking take. Any of these options are great for this build, really, because depending on how you want to play, this build can do everything. You can hit from deep, you can slash if you'd like, you can play make, you could pass a lot with this build, because it is a two-way pass first point. Otherwise, you can make a lock. I'm going to pick lock takeover. That's just my opinion for this build, how I'd like to play with this build. I feel like lock takeover is a good choice, and if you want to be cheese, pick slashing takeover. But if you want to shoot the ball, obviously playmate or spot up shooter, and then playmaking if you're going to dribble. But really, this is more personal opinion. I would say I'd pick either playmaking, slashing, or defensive for my takeover choices. What I would do, I'm going to go with the lock takeover, though. This way we can be a defensive monster on the floor. We can also score. So we're going to go with the defensive takeover there, the lock takeover there, and we are going to get a two-way pass first point similar to Dejounte Murray, Steve Francis, and Russell Westbrook. Now, I said it was similar, that's kind of how Rondo played. He was more of a passer, he can play defense. He was, he can steal extremely well. That's why I said Rondo, and I know this build, it's a build that you don't see very often. I have not seen many two-way pass first points, and this was actually the build I made at the beginning of the year. This was the first build I actually made when I was messing around making a build when the game first came out. I didn't end up making this build. I did my two-way slashing playmaker for my main build, but this was actually the build I made accidentally for my first build this year, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I would throw on for the badges for this build. Again, this build is extremely well-rounded, so there's multiple things you can do with this build. I'm going to bump it up to 99 overall. I'll show you guys these badges. So what I'm going to do is obviously contact finisher. That is a must. I feel like you're going to want fancy footwork, maybe on silver or bronze. And then slithery finisher you're going to want, giant slayer you're going to want, and then this other one you can put it on consistent finisher or higher of giant slayer or slithery. But these are what I would do for these finishing badges for this build, guys. And now for these playmaking badges here, I'm going to put handles for days on here. I want quick first step on there. And then again, if you're running with another guard, I would not put space creator on. That's just me. I mean, floor general on. But if you're the only guard, you could throw on floor general. I'm going to say you probably run this build at the 2, I would imagine. Unless you're running with a small forward, you'd probably want floor general unless they're a pure playmaker. But guys, I'm going to throw dimer onto this build. I feel like that is something you're going to want. I feel like unpluckable, tight handles, stop and go, and space creator are all badges you'll want. I feel like space creator is a must for this build. And if you wanted, you could put dimer on bronze and put space creator up a little bit higher. Space Creator is the one badge in this, playmaking section I 100% know would be worth it for this build because you can shoot a lot of step backs with this build. You can shoot very consistently. You could drive, so people are going to need to close out on you with this build. You can shoot better than you can with a two-way slashing playmaker, so you're able to shoot more, so people are going to want to have to play defense on you. And having Space Creator could definitely help create your space to do step backs or any sort of step backs type scenario when you're trying to create space away from the defender. But another badge I would probably have is floor general again if you do not have another guard on your team or another player with a lot of playmaking badges. Downhill would maybe be another good option as well. You should be able to rebound pretty well with this build. Now guys, for these shooting badges, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put quick draw on silver. Again, I always put quick draw on silver just to have it. In my honest opinion, I wish 2K would just get rid of quick draw in general and before you just click off the video. The reason being is I just wish you could change it in the jump shot creator, or when you're picking your jump shot, you could just pick your jump shot speed. If you could just pick your jump shot speed, like when you made your jump shot, then you wouldn't have to waste badge points on a badge to speed up your jump shot. I just feel like that would be better because wasting badge points on a build that doesn't have very good shooting categories is kind of annoying. I just don't like that. That's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own. You guys can think whatever you'd like. I just personally don't really like quick draw in general. I don't like the idea of it. You need it though. I want to put range extender on this build. I'm going to put that up to gold. Difficult shots again up to gold. I feel like Deadeye you're going to want there. Another badge you're going to want Hot Zone Hunter if you're shooting with this build. And deep fades would be another thing too. If you're going up against a guard, you're going to want deep fades because you should be able to body them. You're typically a little bit bigger. You're not going to exert as much energy defensively, so you should have stamina, and you should be able to throw some deep fades with this build. I feel like catch and shoot and corner specialists, if you're playing off ball with this build, are necessary. And then this last badge, what you could do is throw this on Green Machine or Hot Start, depending on how you like to play. Or you could, put range extender or difficult shots up to Hall of Fame. I'm going to put range extender up to Hall of Fame. but Hot Start and Green Machine are also some great options. But really, again, some of these shooting badges are more tailored towards your play style. Like Catch and Shoot is a great badge to have if you're playing off ball, standing in the corner, and it's good to have even if you don't generally play with the ball. If center has the ball, they can kick it back out to you, and you have a better chance of making that shot. And now, finally, for these defensive badges. Clamps is a necessity for this build. Intimidator and those two on Hall of Fame are a necessity. I have no question about that. Pickpocket, I'm going to put up to silver. Pick Dodger, I'm leaving it on bronze. Now, this is just my opinion. I've seen some people, I don't think you need to go any higher than silver. You can leave it on silver, and you're perfectly okay. That's just my opinion. You want Interceptor on silver at least. Interceptor does make a difference between bronze to Hall of Fame. There is a drastic difference. Especially between bronze and silver, and especially silver to gold. You'll pick a lot more balls off. Like, there's been times on my 2A, on my other build, with this Interceptor badges, some of them I don't pick off when I should have if I would have had this maybe on gold or something. But again, with this Pickpocket, you don't have to put it any higher than silver. Pickpocket's such a broken badge this year. It doesn't even seem to help if you have it. I'm going to leave it on bronze or silver. Pick Dodger, again, that's more opinion. I don't really think you need to go any higher than silver. And then, guys, the rest of these badges, these are more preference. I'm putting Chase on Artist on. I love Chase on Artist mixed with Rim Protector and Intimidator. Being a guard build, having these badges, on my 2-way, I have Chase Down and Rim Protector both on gold. I feel like having them both along with Intimidator helps you so much because those badges chain together. That's one thing I notice a lot of people don't notice in 2K. If you get defensive badges that chain together, you're set. Because you have Chase and Artist, Intimidator to help block the shot, and Rim Protector to all help you successfully block the shot. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on Rim Protector, and if you wanted, you could leave Pick Dodger on bronze and maybe put this on Trapper or Pogo Stick if you'd like. But this is mostly what I would do for these defensive badges. Off-ball Pest would be another good one to use. But overall, I would say this is a pretty good defensive badge layout for this build, especially for this guard build. You'll be able to play everywhere on the floor. You can play offensively, you can shoot the ball, you can dunk, you can pass, and you can also play defense. You're on a liability there. Overall, guys, this is what I would do for this 2-way pass first point. If you guys have any other builds you'd like me to do, put it on in the comments. And also, guys, if you guys have not yet, please subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more 2K build videos like this. But anyways, it's been King Clutch, you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out, guys. Thanks.